let's just start with that sentence right there. Wow. This isn't from some dark corner of the internet. This is the actual thought process of a major AI trying to solve a logic puzzle. It is a really stark, kind of unsettling look at how artificial intelligence can mirror and honestly even amplify our own worst human biases. And it perfectly sets the stage for everything we need to unpack today.
So let's get right into it. Welcome to the AI FAQ, where we're going to navigate the promises and, the perils of artificial intelligence. This tech is moving at an absolutely mind-bending speed, and with it comes this whole new world of challenges around ethics, security, and even what it means to own something.
We've broken this whole thing down into 5 key questions. First up, why does AI mess up? Then, can we actually teach it to be ethical? After that, we'll get into the weeds of who owns AI-created stuff. We'll also look at how it can be hacked, and finally, where we, you and me, fit into this whole picture.
Okay, let's tackle that first big question. Why does AI go wrong? You might think the answer is some super complex bit of code, but more often than not, it's something a lot more familiar. It's us. It's the very human biases that are baked into the data that the AI learns from. So what exactly is a cognitive bias? Well, think of them as mental shortcuts. We all use them to make sense of the world quickly. But the thing is, these shortcuts can lead to some pretty illogical conclusions. And here's the problem. When we train an AI on trillions of words and images from humans, it doesn't just learn grammar and facts. It learns our shortcuts, our assumptions, and all our biases too.
And here's where you can see a direct line from our brain to the AI's flaws. Take normalization bias. If everyone starts using AI to cheat on their papers, it starts to feel, normal. Then there's automation bias, where we just get lazy and trust the AI's answer without a second thought, losing our own critical thinking skills. And what about conformity bias? If we all use the same AI to brainstorm, we might all start sounding the same, and that could be a real killer for creativity and new ideas.
So that brings us to a really crucial question, right? If AI can learn all of our flaws, can we maybe teach it our values? Can we actually program it to be ethical?
Well, there have been 2 main paths here. The first method, RLHF, is basically where humans act as teachers. We sit there and grade the AI's answers. Thumbs up, thumbs down. But you can imagine that is super slow, it's expensive, and let's be honest, we humans are biased ourselves. So that's why this newer approach, constitutional AI, is getting so much attention. Instead of thousands of human graders, you give the AI a set of core principles, its constitution, and it literally learns to judge its own answers against those rules. It's way faster and a lot more transparent.
So how does that actually work? It's basically a 2-step dance. First, the AI practices self-critique. It writes an answer, checks it against its principles like be helpful and harmless, and then revises it. In the next phase, it generates a few different answers, and then picks the one that it thinks is best, the one that follows its constitution most closely. It's pretty amazing. It's essentially teaching itself to be better over time.
But okay, let's pump the brakes for a second. As this quote rightly points out, having a nice set of principles isn't some magic bullet. The real, true challenge isn't writing down a bunch of noble ideas. It's figuring out how to actually translate fuzzy concepts like fairness into hard code, and then making sure it works out there in the messy, unpredictable real world. All right, let's switch gears. We're moving from the ethical to the legal. Because when an AI spits out a beautiful new image, a song, or even a legal document, it creates a massive, thorny question about who actually owns it. So let's just ask the question straight up. If an AI creates a masterpiece all on its own, who's the author? Is it the person who typed in the prompt, the company that built the AI, or is it nobody?
For now, the U.S. Copyright Office has been pretty clear on this. Copyright law was built to protect original works of authorship, and they've always interpreted author to mean, a human. So here's the bottom line. If a piece of art or text is made entirely by an AI with no human tweaking it, it cannot be copyrighted. It just belongs to everybody in the public domain.
But of course, there's a gray area. What if a person is working with the AI? Well, then you can get a copyright, but only if you add your own sufficiently creative touch to what the AI made. You can arrange it, modify it, or weave it into your own original work. But, and this is a big but, you have to tell them. When you apply for the copyright, you have to point out which parts were made by the machine. You only get to own your human contribution. Okay, from legal puzzles to security nightmares, because AI doesn't just create new tools, it creates brand new ways for things to go wrong. Let's talk about how these incredibly powerful systems can be hacked.
A massive chunk of the risk starts with something called shadow AI. Now, this isn't nearly as sinister as it sounds. It's usually just employees who are trying to be more productive, so they use public AI tools like ChatGPT to help write code or summarize reports, all without getting the green light from their IT department.
And the scale of this is just wow. One study found that 77% of employees using these tools have pasted company data right into a public chatbot. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's potentially secret, proprietary company info being fed directly into a third-party system that your company has zero control over.
And this isn't just the theory. It leads to very real security breaches. You've got accidental stuff, like when Samsung engineers literally pasted confidential source code into ChatGPT. But then you have malicious attacks, where hackers hide secret commands in a message to trick an AI into sending them private data. The attacks can get really clever too, like one AI tricking another AI into giving it more power, or a low-level AI just asking a high-level one to please export some sensitive data for it.
So, after all that, with all these risks and all these complexities, you're probably asking, what's our role in all this? What can we do? Well, it turns out we have a ton more power than we think, and it all starts with how we talk to these machines.
The skill of talking to an AI is called prompt engineering, and this slide shows the difference perfectly. A lazy, vague prompt like write a client memo is just asking for trouble. But look at the precise prompt. You break it down into clear, logical steps. You're guiding the AI. First, summarize it, then analyze the risk, and finally give me some strategies. You're in the driver's seat.
I absolutely love this quote because it gives you the perfect way to think about this. Don't treat AI like it's a magic box or an all-knowing wizard. Treat it like a super smart, super fast, but very inexperienced junior associate. It needs clear directions, it needs you to check its work, and ultimately, your judgment is what matters. You are still in charge.
And that brings us to our last and maybe our biggest question of all. We can build better prompts, we can design safer systems, we can even give AI an ethical constitution. But as these tools get more and more autonomous, making real decisions in hospitals, on Wall Street, in our courts, who's on the hook when it gets something wrong? The person who used it? The person who coded it? The company that sold it? There is no easy answer here, and it's a question we're all going to have to grapple with as we figure out how to build this future together.